Hey guys, JawsTheSharkReviews here, and today we'll be taking a look at the Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe class Solus Prime. So here she is in her alt mode, and now before we take a look at Solus Prime herself, let's get a look at her packaging. So here it is, and as you can see here on the front, you got 28 steps, you get her in art of her in robot mode as well as alt mode. You got all this at the bottom, and here's the top, here's the bottom of the box, here's the one side, get that going on there, and the other side you get the some of the primes right here, including Solus herself on the left. So yeah, and then you get Deluxe class down here. And on the back, you got this right here, some product shots, again 28 steps to convert, and all this on the bottom. And that's it for the packaging, so let's roll Solus right back onto the main table. So, so this is the first of however many primes they're going to do in Age of the Primes, because, there's 13 primes, and they're doing at least, we know for sure, like 6-7 of them. I'm not sure. Again, this is going to be a 2-year line, and not just one, so it's going to spread out a little bit. But I'm sure they'll get to all 13. But we'll see, because they've technically done some already, like Alpha Trion and Vector Prime previously. But yeah, but this is officially speaking the first prime for this line, so that's pretty cool. At least I'm reviewing. I have the 3 out right now, which is her, Prime, and then Megatronus Prime. So I'll review those soon. I'm looking forward to those. And yeah, but let's take a look at Solus right here. So it appears she's like in some sort of Cybertronian car mode. Kind of looks like a truck, some sort of futuristic truck. Well, kinda. Yeah. Kind of cool. It looks a little awkward in some spots. The bottom, you can kind of tell it's a robot. You got the arms here in the chest. And yeah, this back here looks a little funky. I guess it's supposed to be kind of a weird like spike design, which is like, it's okay. But overall, kind of too shabby. You get some kind of like a goldish paint here for the windshield, which is nice, as well as up here, and then down here for the headlights. So yeah, and then gunmetal gray paint for the front grille, and then some more of that gold paint on the back. Yeah, so pretty cool. So yeah, now anyways, for accessories, she does come with this like hammer piece. This is like her accessory right here. So yeah, and it comes in 3 pieces. So it's this little purple section, this gray section, like the main part of the hammer and the staff. I think it's more of a staff. It just has like a hammer at the top, and then this is obviously one piece up here. So yeah, so I'll show off later how it's split apart, but I'll just show off right here the where to store it. So what you want to do here is, you see this like little tab, just want to flip that down, or no, you gotta flip that up kinda, and then I'll push out this right here, so like a little post, so you can put this right on top of this. So you see this hole here, you can just insert right on there, and a little tricky, but there you go. So you kind of have like a cannon going on, so it's sort of like a tank kind of. Yeah. Where else could you put it? I think that might be it. But I guess you could put it right in here and also here. But yeah. So yeah. Anyways, now for the alt mode size comparisons. Here she is with her wave mate, Slingshot. I think that was the name I have. I already forgot the name, but I believe it's Slingshot. Yeah, because the other one's air raid. I'm not an expert in the aerial bots, but yeah. Kind of an irrelevant comparison. The only reason I'm comparing the two is because they're wave mates, and I don't have really any other Solus Prime figures, maybe except for the Power of the Primes, little Prime Master, whatever those were called. But I don't even know if I have that one, so yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it right there for the alt mode. So let's get right down to the transformation. So start off by flipping this up right here, and then untabbing the arms from right here, and just do the same thing on this side. So there you go. And you just want to kind of move outwards the headlight sections, flip up the grille, and then after that, just split apart the legs right here, and then just flip this out and kind of fold it out to where it's strained out like this. And then after that, you just want to rotate around the foot, flip up the toe and the heel spur. Actually, the whole foot goes out. And then you're just going to bring this wheel section right to the back, like that. And same thing right here, just do that, and close this up. There you go. So now we got both of the legs done, but that's not it for the lower section of her body, because we still have to do this, but you know, there's still a few more steps to go through with her. Actually, not really. Actually, no, it's all clear. So the last step for the lower half of the body is just to rotate around the waist, and there you go. So now that's all done. So now we just have the upper half to do. So yeah, just flip up the hands and then bring this in. It's kind of loose. It's like a loose connection on my copy for this. And that's not like the only area where I'm noticing like kind of tolerance problems, like even right here, or ever kind of around the ankle, like the mushroom pegger ever doesn't stand too good. And there's this panel up here that doesn't stand well either, so it's a little more apparent in robot mode, so I'll save it for that. But yeah, just flip this up, and then just try to flip out her head. It's not too hard actually. It's much easier than it looks. So yeah, you just got that there. And then yeah, let's close this up. And yeah, those tabs will go in those slots. Oops. There we go. So we got the back done. Now we just have the arms to do. So yeah, then you just want to move this out right here, and then just bring in these areas. Or actually, first you have to open this back up. So I screwed up a little bit there, but that's okay. So move that in, and then do the same thing on this side. And there you go. Close that up. And then now for the shoulder pads, basically the last step of the transformation is you just want to rotate around this panel right here. These are the ones I said that could get off, or at least this one tries to like escape from the rest of the pad, but yeah, so it's pretty annoying. I just clip that right back in and just adjust that all right there. And I think once you got that all done, there you guys have Solus Prime in her robot mode, and I think she looks pretty nice, you know. It's definitely, I'm pretty sure this is based off of her design in the IDW comics. If it isn't, then it definitely has that IDW look to it, but yeah, pretty nice. So, yeah. Anyways, let's get a close-up look here at the head sculpt. Looks pretty good. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not really sure where the source material for this design came from. I'm assuming IDW or Dreamwave or something, probably most likely IDW. But I think she looks pretty good. I like the green eyes, you know, kind of has a neutral look to it, because a lot of Autobots have blue eyes, and then Decepticons mostly have red eyes, so this is kind of nice, like a little in between. And yeah, again, you can see the gold striking right through all the other colors, which looks nice. And here's the back. It's a little awkward looking. You know, the back of the legs are like flat as a pancake. But you know, it's not horrible looking, especially from the front. When you look at the front, that's where that's best. And I'm glad these panels, even though they don't stay on pretty strongly, at least on my copy, at least they fill in the gaps right here. I mean, they stay in pretty good when you have it flipped in like this, but then like when you're transforming her, it's kind of a little bit of a pain in the butt to keep those in, which I don't know why that is, because you know these aren't made of like the dollar store transformer plastic quality. These have thicker plastic, you know what I'm saying, or they should at least. Because the Hasbro designers are giving more budget for this than some you'd see at Dollar General. So, pretty cool. So yeah. Now, anyways, for the articulation, head's on the ball joints. You can move it all around, and you can move it up this much, and then downwards that much. So you get nice range of movement there at the neck. Now, for the shoulders, you get a full 360-degree rotation, and then the shoulders can move outwards as far. I guess maybe a little more movement depending on where you have the shoulder pad. Doesn't really change, honestly. So, but yeah, there's that. She does have a bicep swivel. It's closer to the elbow, but it's technically a bicep swivel. No, technically, you know, or realistically, it should be up here. But oh well. She does have a bend here at the elbow, and ball joints at the wrists, so all kinds of wiggling going there. She does have a waist swivel. We obviously saw that during transformation, so that's nice. Now I'll just flip up her skirt so we can show off the leg articulation. So yeah, you can kick her legs forward this much and backwards that much. Maybe if you wanted to have this back section, you could probably get a little more back movement. And she could do the splits that much right there. So yeah. Let's see what else. She does have a thigh swivel and a bend at the knee. She does have kind of an ankle swivel, sort of. I'd say, yeah, it's probably about close to where well, technically the ankles are supposed to be here, because that's, you know, you have ankle pivot right here. But I guess it's still kind of in the same general area. But this is this part's mostly for transformation, so that's why it's like that. But yeah. And yeah, again, speaking of the ankles, you do get ankle pivot right here. It's really awkward looking. Like, honestly, this is a more natural ankle movement than this is, but at least you got options. And the feet do move back and forth that much. Let me see if you move the wheel out, then you get just a little more. But yeah, and that's pretty much it for the articulation for Solus Prime right here. So yeah, that's pretty good for, especially for Deluxe. I mean, I'd say it's mostly just above average, not like extremely like, wow, for Deluxe, this is amazing. Like it's about, you know, about average, but I'd say it's, you know, just a little above average for her. So yeah, now anyways, for accessories, again, you know, she has her staff. She's one of the 13 primes, so she's gotta symbolize that with symbolize her honor, I guess. And yeah, she has this. It's pretty cool. I just realized there's kind of like a sort of like a pentagon kind of detailing right here. If you look closely, right there. Oh, it's not really a pentagon. It's kind of like one, but not really. It almost looks like a volleyball, which is kind of funny. But yeah, so I'll say I gotta flip this back in because, you know, it's not being stored. But yeah, but I'll do a little breakdown, literally a breakdown of the parts of the staff. So yeah, when you get out of the box, you get this little piece right here, this little purple section, and yeah, I think I mean, she could still hold it in her hand, like it almost looks like a grenade. So, you know, you could have this, or you could pretend this is like, I don't know, a cup of Energon or something. You know, you got the little sippy section right here, so you could slurp it up or something. I don't know. And it kind of even looks like a fire hydrant too, to be honest, just a purple fire hydrant. And then you get the main piece right here that, you know, she can hold. So yeah, there's that. The most generic piece, and then of course this, which we already looked at. So yeah, I mean, realistically, you could just leave this right down here at all times, but if you want her to hold her staff, you will have to remove this, at least the top hammer piece, so that way you could slide this right at the bottom. I'd suggest putting it like right around here, because this is like the tightest spot. And then just attaching this right on the top. And yeah, there you go. So yeah, now there she is with her staff. So I think that really completes the look. You know, I mean, again, she's a prime. You know, she's gotta have something to symbolize her. Not really, I wouldn't say royalty, because they're not like kings or queens or anything, the primes, but they're like their power, I suppose. But yeah. So yeah, now anyways, now for the robot mode size comparisons. Here she is with her Wavemate slingshot. Again, kind of irrelevant, but I don't really have another Solus Prime figure. You know, because again, they did one like 7 years ago in Power of the Primes. And if I do have that one, I have no idea where it is now, but and also, I mean, that's not really a full-scale figure, so it's kind of, if you know what those look like and how they function, you can see why, even if I had it here, it wouldn't be much of a relevant comparison, but, so yeah, here's these two, so, yeah, just to kind of give you some idea of scale. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it there for the robot mode size comparisons. Before we end the review, I just want to show off something that I just saw here at the last second. So, right at the top of her staff, like in the hammer section, you'll see her Prime logo right there, whatever, Solus Prime's logo, or symbol, whatever you want to call it. So there it is. It's tampographed right onto the top right here, and yeah, I just figured I'd show that off because I thought that looked pretty cool. So there you guys have my review for the Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Solus Prime. And yeah, I gotta say, she's a pretty good figure. I mean, she's got her flaws, especially, I mean, it's mostly kind of like with the tolerance stuff, you know, like the ankles, the shoulder pads, and then the inner parts of the forearms, or like the panels and everything. They won't, like, they're pretty loose when transforming, you know, they won't stick in, but, yeah, the transformation's just a little tad of a mess, but I'd say, you know, her alt mode is okay, but I think the robot mode looks really, really nice, so, yeah, they definitely did a pretty decent job with this one, and I'm not sure if this one's my favorite, the Wave 1 Deluxe's Age of the Primes, because this is the last of the first wave for Deluxes, because I've already reviewed Fugitive Waspinator and then the 2 aerial bots, so this is the last of the 4. I'd say in terms of robot mode, probably the best one, but I don't know about alt mode though. But yeah, pretty good. I really like the staff. That's probably one of my favorite parts about the figure, and yeah, pretty good. You know, if you're interested in getting you know, your Prime collection started up, then hey, this one's on the market. You know, especially at Walmart, because they've been like this year, the first wave of Age of the Primes, and then this year's Studio Series product, I've seen at Walmart like shelf warm quite a bit, like already. Like I thought that it all sold pretty quickly, which I guess it did, and now it's at the point where they're just sitting there collecting dust on shelves. So hopefully that doesn't last long, you know, hopefully we'll get wave 2, but we'll see. So yeah, but anyways guys, make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, share for more, and comment down below what you guys think of this figure. So yeah, anyways guys, as always, to all, or one.